Alright everybody, I wanted to show you the next step of once you have found some images that you want to use to create your cover, what you should do next. So anytime we are manipulating photos, not actually doing the graphics, but just playing with the photos, we're going to work in Photoshop. To get to Photoshop, you hit the Start window and you'll see it in the list, but I have it already opened and set to go. And anytime I'm opening a photo, if I go File, Open, that will bring it into Photoshop. We've been saving everything in the D drive under our yearbook folder, so I have my cover art project folder here. I saved that jungle background, so I'm going to open that up first. You can see here's the picture. Right now you can see that the layer or the picture itself has a little lock on it. So before I do anything in Photoshop, I'm going to go Layer, Duplicate Layer. It's going to make a copy that doesn't have the lock, and then I just click on the keyboard and delete, and now my photo I can actually do stuff with it. So you can see here are the menu of things you can do, and when you hover over them, a little video shows up of what you can use them for, which is really, really handy. For us, we're going to pretty much be either manipulating the colors, cropping it, or deleting the background so it's just the image. Those are the big three things we'll probably use it for in this class. If I want to crop, the crop tool is the sixth tool down. It looks like a couple of handles, I would sort of describe it. And if I click on it, you can see these little edges show up, and I can adjust the picture, and a grid shows up to kind of help me figure out how it's going to look. So I might like that these points kind of hit the very middle. I might kind of move it around. And then you go Image, Crop, and you can see it saves your photo as a different size. So that's one thing I could do if I wanted to manipulate the photo. The other thing I can do is adjust the color. So if I go Window, Adjustments, the menu shows up right here. So let me show you again. Window, click Adjustments. And these are all the different things I can do to my photo. So for example, if I click on Brightness and Contrast, a whole bunch of options come up. I kind of want it to look spooky, so I might turn the contrast up and turn the brightness down so it gets kind of darker. So that's one thing I might do. I might kind of move along here. Exposure. If the picture looks a little funky, I can always turn the exposure up or down. And you can see as you hover over it, it tells you kind of what each one is. If you want it to convert to a black and white picture, you want it to have sort of a filter effect, you can apply a filter over the whole thing. So if I want it to look kind of like an old picture, I might do the sepia filter. You can see it kind of browns it out. I really like how that looks actually, so I'm going to keep that. And these are all the options of things you can do. Now once I've manipulated it and I'm happy, I'm going to go File, Save As. Right now it's not saved as a file format that I want. I want it to be a JPEG, which just means a photo file. And I'm going to name it something else so it doesn't save over it. So it's Jungle Background Updated. Save it right into my D drive folder. Hit OK. Now that's one thing that I might do. Another thing I might do is say I want to put a spooky bug in the background, but it's kind of has something in the way and I have to delete it. So I'm going to go File, Open. I'm going to go back into my D drive. I found a bunch of butterflies, which I thought would look really cool. I'm going to use this one. I think it'll be pretty easy. Hit Open. So you can see there's white. And if I put it into that jungle background, I'll have a big white box. So it won't look like the butterflies in the background. So again, I'm going to go Window, get my Layers window open. So I can see it. It has the lock, so that's not going to work. So I go Layer, Duplicate Layer. Delete the one with the lock. Now I can manipulate it. And a really handy tool for this is called the Magic Wand tool. You can see it's right here. Again, you hover over it till you find it. And this one will select all of the color that's exactly the same, and then we can delete it. So if I click on the white, you can see it selects it all. Hit Delete, unselect. There's my butterfly, and all the background was deleted, which is really handy for me. And then all I have to do is save it. So I didn't have to do too much this one. File, Save As. I actually want to save it as a TIFF file, which means a transparent file. It means it doesn't have a background. So I'm going to title this Butterfly, No Background. So I remember I did something to it. And then go ahead and save. Hit OK. Yep, hit OK. And then that's all set to go.